talk about the money. Let's get to the money. So the Florida market, right? The Florida market is insane right now. The Florida market is insane right now. There is a lot of homes that are for sale. I have a friend, a very, very, very good female friend, and she is a realtor in Florida, down in the Tampa area. And she said that it's a weird situation right now and that the homes ain't really moving the way that they should be moving. And I said, even in Tampa? She said, even in Tampa. And I've been warning y'all for years what was going to happen to the Florida market. People were sitting there debating me and going back and forth and sending chats and stuff and saying, Anton, you don't know what you're talking about. The Florida market is going to be cool. I said, it's not. It's not. Florida is one of the first markets to go. If you want to look at the state of housing in America, or if you want to look at a market, and I'm talking about all of Florida, all the way from Orlando, all the way down to Southern Florida, Florida is always going to be one of the most tumultuous markets in America. It is going to be the most unstable and tumultuous market. I love Florida. I love Miami. I love visiting Florida. I think Florida has an awesome governor. But Florida is always going to be one of the most tumultuous markets. And it's not just because of politics. It's also going to be because of weather. It's going to be because of, how people go back and forth, whether or not people actually retire in Florida, all of it. It's a lot of factors that go into it. It's a very big tourist destination. They don't have a lot of big industries in Florida. So it's interesting. It's very interesting about Florida. So I'm going to play a couple of different videos for you guys about what's happening in the Florida market, and let's talk about it.
Well, a major milestone. For the past 3 months, Florida has averaged 180,000 homes for sale. That's the largest number in state history.
And whether it's the high cost of insurance, moving after hurricanes, or rising condo fees, more people than ever before are trying to sell.
But as 10 Tampa Bay News reporter Chris Hurst explains now, it's no longer a seller's market.
Trust me, this market has given us plenty to talk about.
Most realtors love going over the...
Can we first stop and say that I was right? Can we first stop and say that I was right? I just want to start there. I want y'all to acknowledge that I be on it years and years and years and years, way before y'all ever even realize that I'm in that type of space. I would like my flowers now, thank you. I'll take them myself. When I even do Patreon videos, make sure y'all tap into the Patreon, watch the video on the live stream that we did yesterday. I put it back up. I tell y'all, and I try to give you the game, and I say, listen, this is what's happening. This is how it's about to play out. Don't put your money here. Move away from this. Where did I tell y'all to put y'all money that was going to be the fastest growing booming market? I said, go to the Midwest. Oh, Anton, I don't want to move to I ain't tell you to move to the Midwest. I said, put your money in the Midwest. That is the most affordable market that people are going to look for in stability, and it's going to boom over the next 10, 12, 15, 20 years. The Midwest is the place to invest your money. That is where you're going to get the biggest return for your investment. It's just the facts. And now people, hey man, is it too late for me to invest in? I don't know. I've been telling y'all this for the last 4 or 5 years. Why are you just now coming to me? Listen to me. Join the Patreon. Get it in. I keep telling y'all where you need to go, why you need to do it, where we putting our money, what's going to happen. So I want to take my flowers before we start off this section.
The numbers.
I pulled up 20 sales of different price ranges.
So let's dive right in for Pinellas, Hillsborough, Sarasota, and Manatee counties.
Pretty much all 4 counties of single-family homes are in a balanced market.
Inventory is back to pre-pandemic levels, and prices are falling.
And agents and homeowners didn't want to admit it, and so now they're coming to the realization that their property is not worth what it once was.
According to Corcoran Dwellings, median single-family home prices in Pinellas down nearly 7%, 8% in Sarasota, and more than 15% in Manatee County.
We have buyers that were looking in, say, the $300,000 market. They have a lot more to choose from now.
And the condo market continues to crater, with enough inventory now to last 9 months, as many owners are no longer willing to pay higher insurance and maintenance costs.
HOAs, older buildings. If people buy or invest, as far as investing in Florida is a stretch. But if people actually go and buy a condo down in Florida, then it's going to be a new building that's being built. It's not going to be one of these older buildings with the lower ceilings and high HOA fees, high maintenance fees, don't meet the same requirements that they didn't change once that building collapsed. When that building collapsed, I knew that the Florida market was going to be over immediately. When that big building had collapsed on itself in Florida, it was over. It was over. It was 100% over. Do I think that Florida is a nice place to live? Absolutely, in the wintertime. Do I think that you should buy real estate in Florida? I don't think you should buy real estate in Florida, especially if you're trying to buy a condo. It sounds good. It sounds cute. But listen, bro, go get you a little rental unit. Stay for however long you want to stay. Enjoy the wintertime and the weather. Go and have a good time. Don't listen. I'm telling you right now, do not ever. Yep, you're right, Eric D. And I was telling him, I said, bro, all you got to do is follow the insurance companies. If the insurance companies start pulling out of a market, so do you. Get out. Be the first to sell. Be the first. It's all, when you're the last dog to the bowl, you die. That's what Billy Bean said. When you're the last dog to the bowl, you die. Get out of the market immediately. Go and park your money somewhere else. You ain't got to invest in real estate per se. Go and put it in a stock. Go and put it in the market, the S&P 500. Go do something. Go and put it in an ETF, something like that, whatever. But get out of the market, bro. You said they need to create a class action lawsuits against insurance companies, and no. What do you mean? Insurance companies is in business to make money. If you knew that 3 years from now, within the next 5 years, but minimally 3 years from now, that there was going to be at some point some hurricane that is going to wipe out half of the community, similarly to what we was talking about last year, right? It didn't really do it as bad. It hit some other states, but it didn't hit Florida as bad. If you knew that this was coming, would you keep renewing policies? Or would you start to be like, you know what? The catastrophic losses is going to bankrupt the company. We need to get out of this situation. You would get the heck out of there. You, as a business owner, if you was a CEO of an insurance company, you would pull out of Florida also.
So pricing it right from day one is more important than ever.
Interest rates, though, are still too high for many prospective buyers, but waiting for prices to go even lower may not see more savings.
I'm just speculating here, but I tend to think that prices are bottoming out to some degree. If we're not at the bottom, we're probably fairly close.
That's what they all say right before the bottom fall out. I told y'all to sell 4 or 5 years ago. I told you to get out of there a long time ago. If we're not at the bottom, we've got to be fairly close. I don't see the market going further down any more than it has already been. No, it's going to happen.
At least that's what sellers and agents are hoping for. Chris Hurst, 10 Tampa Bay.
It's bad. It's very, very bad. And I feel bad for the people that didn't make the adjustment and that you looked at this stuff as an investment property. But there's also people that's being pushed out of their condos in Florida on top of the collapsing market.
Thanks, Ryan. Tonight, owners in one South Florida condo community say they are uncertain whether they can stay in their homes after developers have bought up the majority of the property.
NBC6 investigative reporter Amy Viteri has their story and why an expert says that condo buyouts are a growing trend in South
we got
Florida.
Block Club in the page.
This is my house. This is my everything. This is everything I've worked for.
This one-bedroom condo in Miami's Coconut Grove neighborhood has been home for Oscar LaRue for 25 years.
And this is my little escape from the troubles of the world when I, leave and come home and relax.
But
I don't think that this is going to go good.
Oscar says he hasn't been able to relax in recent months because he's not sure how much longer he'll be able to keep his home.
It seems as if Mass Capital initially wanted to buy out the building.
Bayshore Park Condo sits a block from the water on South Bayshore Drive. Built in the 1960s, it's walking distance from some of the Grove's most popular attractions. County records show developers through an LLC now own 30 of the building's 39 units, as well as a vacant lot directly behind the condo.
Should've sold.
It's a move that's made headlines in the real estate world.
The emails happened where they were
Holdouts usually get crushed. Holdouts always get. If you see everybody in the building selling, you sell. You know what one of the biggest things that I see people make mistakes is they get emotionally attached to something and they remove all logic from making a smart decision. If you see an opportunity to get out, you get out. You do not be the last holdout. I remember it's a property that's on, I believe it's Cass. Is that Cass? Going up and down. And when they were building Little Caesars Arena, they were buying out all of the property owners. And it was one property that got so greedy. And it was right next to the parking garage with Little Caesars Arena where they built it, and now the Red Wings and the Pistons play. And we want this crazy amount, and everybody made profit, and everybody sold, and everybody got out. You know what they did? It's still for sale today. The house was dilapidated. The house wound up getting bulldozed and everything. The property is still for sale today. Do you know what they did? They said, all right, and they built everything around it. They built the square around it. Literally, they built the square around it. If a company is owning 30 of the 39 units and they're not even leasing them out, they just holding on to them, they want to tear that building down so that they can ultimately tear it down and build something else that's brand new. And they're going to focus on working on pushing you out. They're going to work on pushing you out.
saying that they can terminate, they had the right to terminate the building.
LaRue says owners were copied on this email in June from an attorney representing the developers who are now majority owners. It asks the association's attorney at that time to acknowledge some of the hard facts, specifically the condo's termination provision, adding, "Our client has an ownership interest in over 75% of the units. All current members of the board have consistently sought to block termination." Just last week, LaRue says the developers reached out to him with an offer. So far, he has not responded.
Everybody's, I think, in a state of panic and fear.
Current Florida law requires a vote of at least 80% in order to terminate a condominium, but that doesn't necessarily apply to all condos.
It depends on a lot of factors.
Attorney Carolina Shear is board certified in condominium law and is not affiliated with Bayshore Park. We asked her, how can owners know their rights?
It's basically what law applies to your condominium, and that depends on what language is stated in your declaration.
The declaration is the condo's governing document.
It's known as Kaufman language, and it's a simple phrase, as amended from time to time, which means your condo...
Give me a second. Let me see what's happening out here in these streets.
Your declaration.
The declaration is the condo's governing document.
It's known as Kaufman language.
Give me a second. I am a man. I'm focused. Just give me a second. She did that on purpose. I ain't even gonna cap. I know the nature of women. She did that on purpose. What you think, that she didn't want them to get the full view of her because she been working out the legs and she got the calf muscles? You would never tell just doing that from here up. You'd never tell. You never really. Hey, listen, Messi. Listen, Linda. She's stacked.
Language, and it's a simple phrase.
Throwing it off is throw you off. Throw you off. Okay, all right. Yes, Rod on politics. No play. But yes, I don't really do snow bunnies, but
is the condo's governing document.
It's known as Kaufman language, and it's a simple phrase, as amended from time to time, which means your condo will always follow the most current state law. In the case of Bayshore Park, Shear says the declaration doesn't have that language. Instead, it has other provisions.
Hey, we're going to do the pan out view. I want to get you walking into it. Put our little heels on with her mini skirt. Sheesh. What was we talking about again? Oh, condo owners getting pushed out. All right, let's go.
And that basically says that 75% of the owners can come together into an agreement to effectuate a termination process.
We reached out to representatives for BH Group and Mast Capital and got an email in response confirming.
I don't need to know all of that. I done already got derailed. Once my mind go into something else, I can't think the same way no more. I'm broken. You know what I'm saying? So in conclusion, condo owners can be pushed out and you need to sell, but also the Florida market is absolutely positively in shambles.